Hello, everyone. What's going on? My name is Timpedia. Welcome back to the much-delayed TNT podcast, episode 110.
Oh my god, he
God,
had
it's been
all the
so long.
time in the
I don't
world.
even remember what ballpark we were in.
Well, we also had all the time in the world, and we decided not to.
Actually, it was 112.
112, man. We've been
There you
doing
go.
this shit for too goddamn long. Fuck this.
All right, podcast canceled.
Yeah,
Thanks for
podcast
tuning in,
canceled.
everybody.
End of story. All
Bye.
right.
Shortest podcast we've ever recorded. All right.
All right. See you guys next time.
Before we leave,
All
though,
right.
you should know who is here for the 30-second podcast. Like I said, I'm Timpedia, and on my right.
Oh, it's Friedman, also known as Andrew, but mostly known as Friedman.
And left.
Just killer.
And across.
Senor AIDS.
And that's our show. Thanks for...
All right, thanks for coming out. Peace.
You're
Now-
never gonna see us again. We're done.
Yeah.
You'd think there'd be a ton of news, and there's a lot, but there's not an infinite amount of news because most of the
there's
stuff
never
we're gonna
infinite.
blow through real fast to try to go record Halo after. But I don't know if that's actually.
I was gonna say, to be transparent, we're trying to play Halo.
Well, I don't know if we're all trying. More like I desperately want to beat Halo 3 because holy shit, that was fun yesterday. That video started coming out before this one, so that session started coming out already. So, but
Just so you viewers know, Halo is way more important than y'all.
yeah.
I mean,
They know.
Halo 3 is more important than all of us, but I mean, if you want to pretend that it's not. But we'll talk about Halo later, because for now, we're going to talk about something pretty quick. But this came out a while ago, but Amazon has been ramping up its TV production, and lo and behold, apparently they have partnered with Bethesda for a Fallout TV show from the guys who did Westworld. Now, I don't know if anyone here has watched Westworld, but the impression I got online is that Westworld Season 1 was pretty good, and then later it got less good.
So I'm at the
That
end of
is
season
the-
2 of Westworld, and they definitely wrote up the timeline. They said, "How can we cut this up so it's super confusing?" And they tried to tell a coherent story, but it's too all over the place to follow. Like I had to watch a 20-minute video from this one guy who used to do Game of Thrones videos about what the fuck was happening in this episode to make sense of it. When I have to watch a video that's 1/3 the length of the original video just to explain it, you're not doing a good job of telling the story.
Right.
Damn. I mean, but for real though.
Also, could they have picked a worse time to come out with a Fallout TV show when the only memory people have is still 76, except for the people who have still been playing it and apparently say it's getting good?
I still can't get over the fact
See,
that
I
they thought this
don't-
was going to be like a live service game for the next 10 years.
Yeah, I don't really
Ah.
trust them. So,
But it's okay. Todd Howard's an executive producer on the show.
Oh fucking please.
Goddamn.
We don't have to stick on this too long. I'm not a big Fallout person. I don't know if anyone here is, but
I was.
Honestly, I don't
was.
know. I was also Fallout 4 was all right. I played the shit out of New Vegas, and I didn't really play 3 because I didn't really like it that much.
I mean, like I've said, 3 was one of my hypest games going in because I had just finished my favorite game ever, Oblivion, multiple times, and then I didn't even finish Fallout 3. Maybe I'll go back someday and actually mod up Vegas and play it, because obviously I still love Obsidian games, because Outer Worlds was good, and KOTOR 2 is obviously another favorite game ever. So, but yeah, okay. But that was quick. To talk about Magic quickly, a lot of stuff happened.
What was the ban list for?
Remember the ban restricted?
Was
that
this
happened a
just
few-
Pioneer? Was there anything else that was impacted?
Pioneer, Modern, Pauper. Is any of this ringing a bell? Legacy, even, I think.
Oh, that's right. They were trying to get rid of Snow and Modern. I couldn't remember what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we don't have to go over the whole ban list because there's other Magic stuff to just touch on. But there was a ban and restricted announcement in Magic. They banned Arkham's Astrolabe in Modern. They unbanned. I'm doing this all off the top of my head, Freeman, so you can tell me if I'm right. They unbanned Oath of Nissa and Pioneer. They banned Expedition Map and Mystic Sanctuary and Pauper.
That's correct.
Oh, the other stuff was historic. They
Historic
banned
ban.
Winota.
All the stuff that was on the
banned-
watch list just got flat banned.
They banned Winota, banned
Agent of Treachery, Fires of Invention, Next of Fate, and then the surprise one, Burning Tree
yes,
Emissary.
Burning Tree got suspended, I think, right? or did it just get banned?
Yeah, but I don't think a card has ever been suspended and then not banned
And then unsuspended, yeah.
or banned.
Yeah,
or unsuspended. Yeah.
But yeah.
If you're suspended, you're getting banned. That's the general consensus right now.
Unfortunately, Pioneer still sucks, apparently. The hilarious thing is that Pioneer is so bad that challenges of 64 people weren't firing on Magic Online. So they had to lower the maximum the minimum player count to 32 to get challenges to fire, which is so pathetic.
Jesus.
For a format that was the biggest thing in the world last year. Modern is apparently a little better without Arkhams, even though Uro is still the worst card ever printed for those formats. Pauper, who cares? And Standard. Actually, this is kind of an update that we wouldn't have had back when the ban happened. So we just had a Pro Tour this weekend, and there were less than 10,000 viewers on Twitch, and over 50% of the meta was Wilderness Reclamation decks. So even though that card's rotating in 2 months, a lot of people are calling for that card to be banned still.
I still stand by the fact that Summer Magic is supposed to be crazy volatile and dumb decks are supposed to thrive during the season. So I don't think it should be banned. But
I think
that said,
I think
there's just too many unfun combinations in Standard right now, and it's not fun to play.
I think Uro should get a ban. Uro is just such a toxically unfun card.
Literally every aspect of the game.
And he's not leaving for a whole year. So I think the best way to hit those decks is like Growth Spiral and Wilderness are going to leave in 2 months. Just get Uro the fuck out of Standard. He's so boring.
I'm curious if
I agree.
I know.
It's just. Oh no, we do still have 1 minute. Or I was gonna forget it. I think Growth Spiral is actually like the real bad thing in Standard.
I don't disagree, but it's going to rotate before Zendikar comes out, so it's not like it's going to be the worst thing in the world, unless they reprinted Zendikar. Which people pointed out might happen because it's a Land Matters set again.
Yeah. That said, the last time they wanted to like power down Standard, Zendikar was supposed to be part of it, and I like they're at the point where like they can't keep escalating anymore.
Nope.
Like, are they ready to fuck up another Zendikar set?
Yep.
And I'm thinking no, they know their audience.
But yeah, so Magic's in a weird place. A lot of Constructed's on fire, but Commander's still fun. I built a new Commander deck. Played it this weekend. Is this good? I'm designing a new one because I'm feeling the itch again. I started
Apparently did a good job teaching my friend's girlfriend how to play because she was so curious that she ended up buying a pre-con.
Hell yeah.
After I left.
Spread the disease.
Y'all didn't get me, gay thoughts.
Wow. But when I move, when I move back to New Jersey in 2 weeks, Freeman, we're gonna have to actually find players because I'm gonna want to fill my itch of having this weekend Magic that I do here. Oh, speaking of which, just on a personal note for everybody, I am officially finally leaving Ohio for good, moving back to New Jersey on a permanent basis.
Yes,
in 2 weeks.
East Coast.
Oh God,
I'm sorry.
2 weeks from today, I will be. The next podcast will actually be me back in New Jersey, not in the house I'm going to be living in right away, but back in New Jersey at least. So that's fun. Yay.
Congrats. You made it.
But let's start moving on to these 3 huge topics we have, because we covered Sony stuff last time, because they haven't done anything big since their month ago thing, right?
Yeah,
they
that was
had
the
one
last thing
thing
from
show
Sony.
off of the controller, but I haven't watched the video of it.
Well, because also
it's a controller.
Because
so
last time their big
imagine
announcement was their big show included talking about Ghost of Tsushima, which is out, and Tyler and Aiden are playing relentlessly. So, but we'll talk about that later. We'll talk about that later.
In the played section, we'll get to that.
Yes. So the first thing we're going to talk about is Nintendo. Nintendo had a bunch of announcements. Freeman, go ahead. I know you care about a lot of this.
So Nintendo they're not beating around the bush with this. All of their first-party studios failed to implement teleworking. So every project they had and that they wanted to discuss this summer, is getting pushed back 6 to 9 months. They just had a bad, you have to be in the office 15-hour work culture. And now that everyone's at home and there's no oversight, no one's doing anything. So this is just Japanese businesses in general are struggling, and Nintendo's a very old school one. So they had nothing to talk about. But the problem is a lot of their third-party studios had small announcements that they had intended to tack onto larger Nintendo Directs, and Nintendo kept saying, we're not doing a Direct anytime soon. We may not do another Direct, period. And everyone's like, well, we kind of tacked our marketing strategy onto the idea that you were going to show this trailer at some point in the summer. So Nintendo, with 24 hours notice, says, we're doing a Nintendo Mini Direct. It's only third-party Studios. This is not Nintendo announcement. So naturally, everyone in the world is like, oh my god, are they going to announce F-Zero? Are they going to announce the next Smash Bros. Character? Is the next Kirby game coming out? And everyone was so disappointed that Nintendo didn't do the thing they said they weren't going to do. And they were so pissed when Nintendo just did the thing they tweeted about 24 hours in advance. Just let the third party.
How dare they do exactly what they said they were going to do?
More importantly, there was an actually good announcement to come out of this, and it's still getting ruined by the fans. So Atlas comes out. First of all, Shin Megami Tensei 3 is getting remastered. This is one of the tougher ones, and it's anytime someone says they like Persona, the SMT fans will come out of the woodwork saying, yeah, but did you play Nocturne? Because this is apparently the game to play. So I'm excited to play that. And then Shin Megami Tensei 5, which has been like on radio silence since they announced it in 2017. They confirmed global release 2021, which is great because usually Atlas like will not talk about the NA release of their games until it's like already confirmed, the packaging's already done. Like they hit that they were dubbing the Persona 5 anime until like the DVDs were like ready to ship. So for them to do this is very interesting. And everyone's mad because they announced 2 games that aren't Persona 5 for Switch. I don't know. I hate Nintendo fanboys.
Do you think Persona could come to Switch? Is that game too much for a Switch, or I don't know?
I feel like it's way too much. Like,
okay.
Let's be real here. The Switch is just a really, really beefy mobile gaming device.
No, I agree. That's why I checked.
Like, this is still technically a PS3 game. If we're going royal, then yes, it's PS4 because they did improve it slightly.
On the other hand, they did get Witcher 3 to run on it. It's not good, but it runs.
It's not amazing.
It's not good, but it runs.
Weird finesse to get it to do that.
I mean, you could get The Witcher 3 to run on a potato if you really wanted to.
I think you're thinking of Doom.
Yeah, I mean, you won't have any trees, but
They would, they would definitely have to. They would definitely have to do some stuff. Like for anyone who's played Persona 5, when you get to the casino level, you don't really notice unless you stop moving around for a minute. But there's so many like particle effects. There's like money falling out of the sky. There's a lot of shit that I can see like being way too intense for the Switch. So if they toned it back, they'd kill a lot of the style of the game without you really realizing it.
Which is kind of like the whole point of Persona, though. That is the most stylized game in existence.
Yeah, if you want to know what Persona 5 is like with zero style, just go watch or go play Persona 4. Same thing.
Before we get off Nintendo, hasn't it been since last time that they announced Snap, or no? Was that last time even?
That was forever ago. So
Okay,
they
that
had
was
3
long enough?
Pokemon Directs, and the last one was when I got super mad about the MOBA.
Gotcha. Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah,
okay. And
we
that
talked about Snap. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. I don't follow it close enough, and it's just I was like vaguely in the back of my mind, like, wasn't there like a thing? That's fine.
Anyway, moving forward to Ubisoft Forward,
a company with no controversy around the time of this announcement at all.
Do you want to talk about that?
I mean, top to bottom, it seems like there was a article that came out that was like, hey, top to bottom, Ubisoft is full of awful people who have covered up lots of, maybe not direct like assault, but lots of HR nightmares got swept under the rug at Ubisoft, and a lot of upper management is getting shaken up.
Ubisoft is very shitty, in case anybody had any doubts.
Yep. A lot of people looking the other way about stuff or just flat out shutting stuff down. So that's shitty, but hey, they announced a lot of games the day after this came out.
They announced a lot of very Ubisoft games, as in the holy trinity of games that they have right now, which is you got Far Cry 6 featuring our dear friend Gus Fring.
Can I just say how funny it is that yet again Far Cry seems to be leaning into our villain is who we want to advertise. Who gives a shit about the main character?
Yes.
It's because here's why. Any Ubisoft game, right? They land one thing and they're like, all right, this is going to be our franchise forever.
Yeah, and ever since
Call of Duty.
What was his name in 3?
Voss.
Voss, thank you. Ever since Voss, even though they ruined Voss in his own game, but ever since Voss was like the thing, they're like, who can we get to ramp up villain? We have like that, like didn't 4 had
Pagan.
the yeah. Well, I didn't even play any of them since 3.
Yeah, 4 had Pagan Min, and he was okay. He was an okay villain. 5 had
Cletus
Joseph
probably.
Seed. Joseph
right.
Seed was his name. It might as well have been Cletus.
Yeah.
But like, like the overly zealous religious cult thing.
Yep.
Like, and he was fine too, but none of them ever reached the level that was Voss. Because Voss's character came across as just a legitimate fucking psychopath.
Yeah. So
And,
how do we top that? We go to the calmest cucumber, coolest cucumber.
Whoa.
The coolest cucumber villain
From a
we've had on
cucumber
TV
mode.
in the last 2 decades, aka Gus Fring.
I'm okay with this just because I believe Giancarlo Esposito can do it. Like,
Oh, sure.
he'll probably put on a great showing. Like, the only way that they could honestly fuck this up if they have shitty writers.
What was the thing I remember seeing him in
They
recently?
gonna fuck it up.
What was he in?
Entirely
since?
possible.
He was a Mandalorian.
That's
Yeah, he was the
yes,
Mandalorian.
yes. He's the Moff. That's right. Yes, thank you.
He
Tyler.
was Moff Gideon. I think. Whatever.
Wait, the one
Whatever.
with the
Yeah, with the
sword?
dark saber. Yeah, yeah.
With
Got
the
the-
sword.
With the sword.
Sword.
Yeah. Far Cry 6 got a pretty cool trailer. No gameplay though, because like,
Of course not. Who needs to
whatever.
see gameplay for a Far Cry game?
I
You know
mean,
what you're getting.
Gameplay.
it's gonna be a Far Cry game, and well, it is what it is. Y'all know what Far Cry
If
is.
you want to play a Far Cry game, just buy the newest one. It's the same as the oldest one.
And the one before that, except for Far Cry Instincts, which Aiden did not know about.
I was not aware of Far Cry Instincts.
I am not aware of Far Cry.
Where does
What
that
the
fit in the franchise?
How? It doesn't.
So
doesn't.
Crysis. Far Cry Instincts was the Crysis before Crysis.
Oh,
It was
Huh.
super dope. You
Only
got
on Xbox.
yeah, so you played this mercenary guy. He got dropped on an island and he gets spliced with animal DNA. Fucking sick. Y'all should check it out. I mean, it hasn't aged well.
I mean, if you want to say that, there's also Blood Dragon. Wasn't exactly super Far Cry-ish.
Yo, that was a Far Cry game.
I mean, it was
Just
pretty
with
close,
the-
but
Just with like a skin on it.
that's fair.
Yeah, but that was a pretty good skin. I like Far Cry. I like the aesthetic of Far Cry Blood Dragon a lot.
Oh, me too. I only beat it like twice.
Damn.
It's fine. But Far Cry is still going to be Far Cry, and that's that. The next of the Holy Trinity, Watch Dogs Legion, they showed a bunch of gameplay, and this very much appears that they're going the route of Saints Row 3. And I say this because if anybody played the first 2 Watch Dogs, the first one was very much like super edgy, like very grounded, like hacker mans. Like nothing was very. It took itself way too seriously. Everything was like, it was like too, I don't know, dry and gritty and fucking whatever. Watch Dogs 1 sucked. 2, they embraced the culture, right? It's like the fucking memes were everywhere, and it was great. And now Watch Dogs Legion seems like they're just like, fucking turn everything up to 11. You want to play grandma with a taser? You could play grandma with a taser. You want to be a construction worker with a wrench beating dudes in the street with a construction drone that you can fly on? Go for it. Everything just seems completely off the walls at this point, and it's probably going to be pretty good. It looks pretty solid.
I thought you were going in a different direction with that.
No, I liked Watch Dogs 2 a lot. I think they redeemed themselves quite a bit from the first game. And this is just like, let's just fucking go crazy with it. And it seems like they're introducing a lot of interesting shit that could be cool. But we'll see, because Ubisoft also has that tendency to kind of fall into like Tyler was saying, oh, remember when Assassin's Creed had towers that were pretty successful? We're gonna put towers in all the games. Every game's getting a tower.
Every
Got
game's getting
the
tower. Every game's getting boat combat now. Remember boat combat? That's so great. Everybody's getting boats.
So as long as they actually as long as they innovate a little bit with Legion and they get some new cool things going on, it'll probably be a pretty good game. But if they fall into the same trap that they do with the rest of their games, it'll probably just be meh, which isn't, 6 out of 10 7 out of 10. It's fine. And the final of the Holy Trinity, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, which is Viking Assassin's Creed. If you played Odyssey or you played Origins, well, this is that except with Vikings now. And yeah, that's that.
Odin is with us.
Yeah, sure.
Odin is with us.
I don't know if Odin can save Assassin's Creed at this point.
Ezio Auditore is with
That's better. That's better. That's a better name to invoke. So yeah, Assassin's Creed.
How much you want to bet they wanted to bring Ezio back though?
Nah.
Because that was the last time the games were good.
No.
Maybe.
Yeah, they
No?
weren't good because of
No?
Ezio. They were good because they had made significant improvements over the games before that.
But all Ezio was your
Yeah.
boy.
Remember,
Ezio
you
was my
remember,
boy.
you remember the Millennium
Remember?
Falcon? you remember Chewbacca?
So yeah,
It's the same thing.
yeah, exactly. But Assassin's Creed Valhalla, it looks like the last two Assassin's Creeds. It's very RPG driven. It's very much in the same vein as Origins and Odyssey.
Okay, but can I RP Vinland Saga in this game?
I mean, that's probably one of the best things it's got going for it. if you want to RP Vinland Saga, then yeah, this is probably your game. But yeah, Assassin's Creed still Assassin's Creed, and Tom Clancy is officially dead.
He's been
Like
dead.
more
Aiden.
than he
He's
already
been
was?
Dead.
Not the man, the franchise, because
Oh.
now
Oh.
it's a mobile game.
It's been dead. It's been dead, Aiden.
I know, but I had hopes. Tom Clancy's Elite Squad. It's a Tom Clancy Overwatch cartoon mobile game thing. It's whatever. I honestly have not a lot to say about it because they just.
Is
It was
their
just a
answer to
show.
Valorant?
I don't know. I really don't know. They didn't show anything about it except for like a cinematic trailer, and it was just like cartoonish Tom Clancy characters. Like you had oh my god, why can't I remember his name right now? Splinter Cell.
Oh, Sam Fisher.
Sam Fisher. They have like people from the other Tom Clancy stuff. They had like Division shit in there. And
Yo, if
fucking,
they
like,
wanted to bring
yeah.
a franchise back, that's the franchise to bring back.
What Division?
No, ew, gross. No, I meant Splinter Cell.
Oh, Splinter Cell. Yeah, I honestly that was the biggest disappointment about this because I wanted a new Splinter Cell, and I think a lot of people
about
wanted
one
a new
coming.
Splinter Cell. Not that I've heard of.
I thought I remember
Same.
hearing about something about that, but oh well.
It is what it is. And the last thing from Ubisoft that of any interest is Hyperscape, which is another battle royale.
Thank God. I was getting so tired of the 12 that are already
But
successful.
but
Like,
it's
I needed
fresh
a new
and
one
new.
to play.
But it's new because it has
It's
the
new.
cyberpunk aesthetic, so it's fine.
Cyberpunk. So it's as a real quick rundown. Hyperscape is just like it's Ready Player One, the battle royale. Like it is set up as the world sucks, so everybody's in this VR game, and like if you're good in the Hyperscape, you're a fucking celebrity. So it's literally Ready Player One.
So it's the opposite of sort of. If you're
Yeah.
a pro in the game, you're a pro in real life.
Yeah, exactly. But it's like it's very mobile. It's very arcadey. Like it looks and plays a lot like Quake or Unreal. Except with even more mobility. Like you go even faster in Hyperscape. So it's a lot of like RPGs and grenade launchers and whatever. Which is fine. It looks pretty neat, and yeah, it's another battle royale because we need another one of those. And
We need them.
moving on to more interesting news.
It. So speaking of something we brought up before, Xbox.
Xbox Series XX.
There was
X.
Accent Core Plus.
there was an Xbox event, and still I don't think it fully made everybody happy with what they were showing.
I mean, Xbox.
You said you were going to show gameplay, Xbox.
Well, they showed a trailer for Fable that showed a sword and a fairy creature that's never been in Fable before. So,
I was so excited to see gameplay for it. It was beyond
but
disappointing.
hey,
with that
the new
trailer.
Fable's coming, and it's not Fable 4. It's just Fable. So
It's not Fable 4, so today
don't-
tis the season
know.
for reboots, ladies and gentlemen.
I mean, we've been in that season for like a decade now. It feels like.
And
Yeah,
by the time it's over,
It's
we'll be in the reboot era. So get ready for it.
yep.
I don't know. I'm excited to see what a new Fable brings. Obviously, we just saw a CGI trailer that was classic Fable silliness. But apparently
yeah,
it's supposed
I'm
to take,
excited.
quote, inspiration from old and new stuff. So who knows what the fuck that means.
I'm excited for Fable. Fable is a cool universe. If they properly utilize it, it could be a very cool thing.
But the big thing was the Halo, which
And
looked okay.
It's Halo.
More like
They made the Halo maps big.
The big Halo maps.
On some
Honestly,
real shit, who gives a fuck? I'm sorry. I thought about it. I gave it some thought. I really don't care anymore.
All right, I
Correct.
need to ask the question because I did not play. Okay, let's be real. I haven't played any of the Halos before the last
Okay.
couple months. So, what was so bad about the last Halo that's making you not confident about the next one?
Honestly, for me, in 4, so I've never played 5
you
still.
mean fine.
For me, even in 4, the story just started going so off the rails and ridiculous. Like, it was hard to give a shit about the characters. Like, Freeman, we played Halo 3 last night, and we saw the scene where the new Halo rises up, and it's like, I was like, I'm getting chills again because this is so amazing. I couldn't tell you what happens in 4 other than the fact that you fight Forerunners, and the combat feels worse.
Gotcha.
Like,
Yeah, you fight Forerunners, the race that was allegedly killed by the Halos.
No, you don't
Except
fight.
for a few
You don't
of them.
fight the race. There's only one Forerunner guy,
Tyler,
and he flies the didact thing. What?
Oh, I don't know. I
Is
didn't
that-
play Halo 4.
damn,
What?
I like.
Unfortunately, I played Halo 4, and
Well,
it's
I
fucking
did too.
garbage.
My condolences.
Also, honestly, like ever
And I
since
played the multiplayer.
you could say Reach was, I personally don't love the combat in Reach between the bloom and the lack of battle rifle. Even though you guys all say the DMR is better, but like 3's combat just feels so crisp and good to me, and 4 just felt not.
Bad. It was bad. It felt bad.
And Tyler, didn't you play 5?
I did not. I
So
watched
none
the
of us have
playthrough of
played
5.
5.
Damn. All right.
I didn't play 5 because 4 was bad, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna at least watch like some gameplay on it, and I was like, oh, it's literally 4. So you know what? Yes, I have played 5, and so have you, Tim.
Yeah, we played 4, or we played 5.
The
'cause we
problem
played 4.
is, everything that made Halo Halo, in my opinion, other people are like, oh, like, nah, the core gameplay is there. I'm like, yeah, but like the feel is not there.
It doesn't feel like it anymore. It's
like
really not.
all the weightiness that came from the guns and the movement and like
yeah.
the actual feel of the game is not there
Just feels
anymore.
different.
I
It
was
went to Destiny.
I
If
rewatched-
anyone
yeah.
wanted to keep playing Halo, you went to Destiny.
But Destiny
honestly.
also apparently sucks now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're
No,
ready to
but-
defend that one.
Like
No,
I was
the shoot. I thought about it for a second. The combat in Destiny feels like good Halo, but like the actual game is complete dog shit.
so
So
it's
Yeah,
everything.
the-
So it's like you took the gameplay of Halo and moved it somewhere else and surrounded it with other bad stuff, and then
Surrounded
you
with
tried to
Blizzard's,
fill
like,
the
WoW
gameplay.
mechanics.
Yeah, and then you tried to fill the gameplay hole that was left behind, and could never could never match how good it was originally, and then that leaked into tainting everything else.
Yeah. But actually though, like that was the problem. Like in shooting in 4, like they were trying to speed up literally everything. They tried to speed up the time to kill, they tried to speed up the movement, the guns, the feel. Like killing did not feel satisfying, shooting did not feel satisfying at all. It felt like I was shooting and I compare this people are going to say I'm completely wrong about this, but this is how I feel about it. But I have equated why I don't play what the fuck's that game? That battle royale. Oh yeah, Fortnite. I don't like playing Fortnite because it feels like I'm shooting a Nerf gun. Like
Yeah.
there's no substance
Yeah.
to it. I felt
Oh,
the
yeah.
same way shooting guns in Halo.
And
Halo
honestly,
4.
The sound design from the trailer or
Yeah.
from what they showed, it sound like the sound design seems like it's good, and it looks like the combat is weighty, and like it looks like the Warthog is weighty, and movement in general is just like heavier. So I mean that might add a little bit more substance to it, so it doesn't feel as floaty as something like you don't feel like you're shooting a Nerf
Yeah.
gun.
Is it weird to say I feel a little sad that over time the Warthog has turned into a more like realistic looking vehicle, but I think it looks less iconic now?
Yeah. I mean, honestly,
Like you see those orange gas cans on the back, and I'm like, and it looks a lot slimmer and smaller than it used to, and I'm like, yeah, that's a Warthog, but man, I miss my big chunky green, massive fucking like all-terrain vehicle that could run shit over.
Yeah, honestly, I gotta be real. I don't think it looks very good. I think
No.
the textures are like the texture quality is very weak.
Honestly,
Like,
I don't think it looks
it
that
looks
much
nice.
better than 3 does. Like, it looks better, but
I
like,
think that like 3 might actually look better. Like if you look at the Phantom that was in that trailer or in
God, it
that
looks
gameplay
so.
demo,
Ugh.
it looked terrible.
And
It was
didn't
like
move
it was
well.
so flat.
Yeah.
It didn't have the same character as the older Halo games.
I was gonna say, I think it's a lot that like the art design felt so much stronger. Like, Infinite clearly takes place on an under construction Halo ring, or like half constructed or something, and you see the construction pieces sticking out, and they're just like weird gray hexagon tubes, and there's like absolutely no detail or anything. Do you remember what I'm talking
Wait, but
about?
it was a close-up shot of it?
If you know
Not a
what
close-up, but, like-
basalt looks like, it's like it looks like a bunch of basalt, like the Giant's Causeway in Ireland.
It wasn't a
it's just like
close-up, Freeman?
hexagonal shit,
Yeah.
but it's all super flat, gray. It's a gray blob.
It literally just looked like this is almost like it's. I get it. It's unfinished. It's not built Halo, but it looks unfinished texture. Like there's no character to it at all. I don't know. The fact that
I don't even care anymore. I thought I did.
If it plays well, it'll be fine. Like looks
Oh.
aside, like because if that's the art direction that they want
I
to
mean-
take, it's I'm not gonna complain about that. I
Also-
don't think it looks as good as the other games, but
also Five's probably never gonna. But by the time Master Chief Collection finishes the end of this year, Infinite will probably be out on PC. And we'll probably be able to play Infinite on PC.
Isn't Infinite launching on PC?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, honestly, it's not what I'm even looking for in a Halo game either.
So, Tyler, I agree with you, and I will not buy it. But to go back to the actual event, Microsoft also announced that, along with some Game Pass announcements, one of them is that every first-party game that Microsoft makes going forward is going to launch day one on Game Pass. So because I still pay for Game Pass, I can play Halo Infinite and not even worry about buying it.
Do you want to bump this topic up right here?
Who
I mean,
would have
we're just
thought that
jumping around.
Microsoft found that taking the business model of one of the 5 FANG companies was a good idea?
Who knew that being the Netflix of video games was smart?
I mean, others have tried.
Yeah, I
and
remember.
all failed.
They didn't
but
have
Game Pass is
Microsoft's
looking pretty good.
resources, thankfully.
We're currently watching one of the 5 members of FANG fail to do it.
No, but yeah, Game
Never
Pass.
forget Stadia.
Microsoft is clearly getting behind Game Pass in a big way, and I don't regret at all paying for it still. Like we were talking after we recorded Halo last night. That new game that came out last weekend, Carrion.
Yes, Carrion.
I was like, oh, I've been interested in that. Maybe I'll buy it. Oh, it's on Game Pass. That's a month of Game Pass right there that I could just play. I downloaded it. I'm probably going to start playing it like this weekend or something like that. or if I'm like bored tomorrow or something. Like I can just start playing it. It's on Game Pass. And like the game selection isn't super amazing, but at the same time it's like you play one game every 2 months and you're more than justifying the cost of Game Pass. So I just think it's fantastic.
Isn't if you play 2 games a year, you've actually how much does it cost? $10
Well,
a month?
it depends full
15,
price.
15 a month.
Yeah, it's $15 a month, but Carrion's a $20 game. So I'm just saying, like,
so 3 games a year, and you've already covered the cost.
Basically, yeah.
But,
well, assuming new games.
Me and Tim both played the newest Metro.
Yep, Metro. Never bought Metro Exodus.
And like that
was perfect because I got to play it
4
new.
months of fucking or 3 months of Game Pass was equal to the cost of the game.
You were right the first
time. No, it's
time.
3. It is. Wait.
3 times 15
45,
is 45,
yes.
Aiden.
Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm terrible at math. I was right the first time.
Yes.
4 months. Yes. And it's like you can't beat that. Like
Yeah.
Game Pass is too valuable. And honestly, because I think that's one of the biggest things that Microsoft has going for them, because I think otherwise they're actually kind of pretty weak right now.
Yeah. It's really disappointing.
Like first party games.
Because everybody's been because Microsoft for like a year now has been like, all of our first party studios are building games for the new generation. And if they are, like, I know Rare is doing something like The Woods. It's called like something in the Woods or something. I don't even fucking remember. But like, it's a problem that no one knows what they're doing, but everyone knew the name Last of Us 2, Ghost of Tsushima, God of War. Outside of Halo, no one really, there's no like big title that everyone is getting hyped for the new Xbox console.
Yeah.
And then Halo showed weak, and it's like, uh-oh.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I guess people stopped caring about Psychonauts.
Yes,
But,
I agree.
I'm interested in it.
Yeah, you're interested, don't mean everybody's interested.
The first Psychonauts was like how long ago?
At least
Actually,
10 years.
I can't make this
It was
argument.
original
I can't
Xbox.
make this argument. Nope, I can't do it. On principle, I can't make the argument that the game is old, so nobody cares. I like the first Psychonauts, and I'm interested to see Psychonauts 2, but it's not something that I would be hyped for. Like, if I heard an announcement for Ghost of Tsushima 2, wow, English. Like, well, maybe not English. Would be super excited. God of War would be super excited. Like, Sony has first party titles that are absolutely crushing anything that Microsoft can put out.
Yep.
Like, their first party stuff is absolutely phenomenal, except for Last of Us 2. I don't like that.
But even that sold amazingly well.
Even that sold amazingly well. Even though it was not as good as the first game, I personally think, personal opinions aside, like, Sony just has a way better lineup moving forward. Mm-hmm. They've got way more leeway with the things that they can do with their franchises, where Microsoft, I feel like Microsoft is really struggling to find that next big critical hit in their ecosystem.
Yeah,
it's a problem that Halo has gotten so weak, and there hasn't been an Xbox thing to pick up the slack. And like, I'm hyped for new Fable.
Halo's not the answer.
I'm hyped for a new Fable. Like, as someone who, like I've said multiple times on the podcast, I love Fable 1. I built 3 years of D&D out of Fable 1. Didn't beat 2, never touched 3. I would probably, I don't have to. When the new Fable comes to Game Pass in a year and a half, I will be playing that day one.
It's not a question of will you get it, it's a question of will you play it.
And I will 100% play a new Fable not connected to the story of 2 and 3.
Now that I think about it, this actually appears to fall into Microsoft's game plan. It just, as a company, not necessarily in the gaming industry specifically, because anybody who works in IT, like me and Tyler did.
Oh, stop. It's still your career.
It is still my career path. But like, Microsoft very much has had a recent focus on things as a service.
Yes.
I
also subscribe to OneDrive.
Yeah. I don't mean a game as a service or something like that. Like, they're very, like, they want to make their whole ecosystem a service.
There's probably going to come a point where you can, like, I pay for Word and all that stuff. I pay for the Office subscription once a year, and I'm sure there's going to come a time where there's a, hey, get a discount, get Game Pass and Office in a bundle. There's probably something like that somewhere already. But there's been bundles like that for Microsoft in the last, like, 5 years where they've started bundling all these services together, like get Skype Premium with Office or get Office. And I remember there was one for Xbox Gold.
Yep.
Like, that was the same thing.
So that, and we'll see how this plays out, because it really could go either way. Like, your service is going to be shit if you don't have anything good on your service. Which right now right now is not the case. Game Pass is a very, very, very good deal,
and I think
it seems like that value is only going to go up in the future, at least in the near future.
I think, like Outer Worlds, which we'll talk about in a second. Haha, transition. Outer Worlds, I remember seeing headlines that it did extremely well on Game Pass at launch. And even though Microsoft now owns Obsidian, and it's a first party, it's not like they're not seen as like 343 or they are a Microsoft company. Basically, Obsidian has such a repertoire in the industry. And then you slap on, like, they come day one. Like, the Outer Worlds DLC is going to be available on Game Pass probably.
Yep.
Psychonauts 2, you mentioned, from Double Fine. Their games all probably come to Game Pass day one now because they're a first party. And I think as time goes on, more third parties are going to be like, well, if we can get a good deal, we'll go on Game Pass too. It might not be at launch, but if we don't have anything conflicting, we'll throw it on Game Pass. Like Carrion. Carrion's definitely not from a company Microsoft owns. I don't know who made it, but it's not a first-party game. It came to, like, Epic Store, Steam, GOG, all these other places. But it also came to Game Pass, and I'm about to play it through Game Pass.
Yeah.
So
it's very, very good. Very good deal.
I wouldn't be surprised if this is how Microsoft sneakily gets to everything. Now, apparently there was rumors that they were going to try to come to Switch, which apparently Phil Spencer just in the last week ran back because it sounds like no one's on board with that idea over at Nintendo or Sony, which isn't surprising. But it's still like
I could see that. Yeah.
As a PC player, where more games are coming to PC, like Horizon Zero Dawn, still waiting for that to come out. Who knows what the future holds for, like, being a PC gamer with Game Pass and that kind of thing. So, but speaking of Outer Worlds, I didn't actually know this.
What about Outer Worlds DLC?
I didn't know that there was any coming.
Yeah, but now you know.
Wait, was it announced or it's out?
DLC? Yes, no, it's announced. It's announced.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they showed it off and it looks pretty cool. Outer Worlds was a fantastic game. Like,
it was pretty good.
I enjoyed it a lot. I think it's better Fallout.
I mean, I can't say yay or nay, but I will say the end game kind of falls apart.
The end game is pretty weak, but hey, maybe they'll fix that with the Outer Worlds, Peril on Gorgon.
So what is the DLC about? I don't actually excite.
It's about Peril on Gorgon.
Well, that's not helpful.
He couldn't be more clear.
It's it was again not a lot of gameplay, so I don't know what to tell you.
I know a game that you are hyped for, Aiden.
Yeah, you go to the Gorgon asteroid, and that's you gotta do a bunch of stuff. There's like new weapons, because of course there is, and yeah, it's which was honestly kind of the weak point for me as far as the Outer Worlds goes. Their weapon selection was kind of meh. It was like, it could be better, but it's cool. Outer Worlds DLC, definitely looking forward to it. But what I'm looking forward to more.
Oh my god!
Second soundboard user.
Oh no! Someone's taking my strategy here.
Jesus
yes,
fucking Christ!
Ladies and gentlemen, we are going back to the exclusion zone with Stalker 2. Okay, I'll kill that meme early.
God damn it!
Beautiful. This is what it's like to be on the other side of it.
Aiden, you and Freeman need to get together and start producing trailers with this shit.
Yo, I'm ready. Let's go. You want some Timpedia podcast trailers? We got you. But yeah, this is one of the most exciting games that I'm about in all of this. Stalker 2. If any, like, what are the last three? There was Stalker, Call of Chernobyl, or Shadow of Chernobyl, Call of Pripyat, and then there was another one before those two. I can't remember what it was at the moment, but I'm very excited for this game. This is one of those like super dystopian, just like I am Russian comrade in Chernobyl doing Russian comrade things with my Russian comrades. And I'm excited for it. I'm actually playing through Call of Pripyat again with the Misery mod because that's the only way to play this game. And yeah, fucking Stalker 2. It's about time. It's actually been 8 or 10 years since the last Stalker game. And by God, this is just fantastic series, super underrated, cult classic. But I'll keep this short. Because otherwise I'll just gush forever. Yeah, Stalker. If you haven't played Stalker,
Russians.
go play Stalker. Russians, the Soviet
The
Republic.
game about Russians after a fucking nuclear blowout.
Yeah, this is better than Metro. It's better than Metro. I like it better than Metro. That's personal opinion.
Maybe if this comes to Game Pass, I'll finally play a Stalker game.
Hey, do you know what? They said... I don't know if they'll hold true to this. They said that everything shown in the show was going to come to Game Pass.
Excellent.
And they said everything was coming to Game Pass.
Well,
so,
then
hey,
I can also play this next game.
Absolutely. And the next game on the docket, Warhammer 40k Darktide, or Left 4 Dead 3, whatever you want to call it. Because Valve doesn't want to fucking do it. So, yeah, Xbox also showed off another Warhammer 40k, which, gotta be honest, they're all not really that good. Like, some of them are kind of dog shit, actually. But here's to high hopes. Again, no gameplay, because, fucking, what are you doing, Xbox? But yeah, Warhammer 40k Darktide was very, very much appears to be in the same vein as Left 4 Dead. It looks like a 4-player co-op, zombie-based. I mean, you know, Warhammer has their own thing. You know, it's probably like the Tyranid or what have you. But another fantastic game coming to Game Pass, probably, maybe. I hope. Better not have lied, Phil Spencer. Better not have lied.
I think we're far enough in that we're past that point. With Game Pass, at least. It's too much money on the line.
So the last question I have for Xbox winning the console war here is Xbox. You still need Xbox Live, which still has the monthly subscription, right?
Nope.
No.
If you do Game Pass on I believe I don't know how it works on Xbox, but in PC, I only pay for Game Pass.
Yeah, no, Game Pass is its own thing. It is its own service. It is not part of. Well, at least on PC. Again, I don't have an Xbox.
Yeah, so my question is, how is it going to be
it
on the new Xbox? Like,
I honestly don't know and don't want to give a wrong answer.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
I was curious about that because I'm seeing.
I'll look into it. Hold on.
I hate that people are saying the console war's on. It's like, no, it's not. Like no one's arguing which console's like better at this point. It's like arguing, oh, is my PC with the 2080 Super better, or is yours with the AMD processor better? And it's like, this is a dumb argument. Let's talk software. But if they're both in the same pricing range, just makes it even closer. Like in terms of like online.
Real quick then, since you brought up pricing, which console do you think is going to be cheaper?
They're going to be the same price. I bet you they're going to be the same price.
I bet Xbox is cheaper.
Yeah, I was gonna say Xbox is probably be cheaper. I know Sony's putting like these stupid expensive hard drives in, whereas like I don't think Xbox is.
Xbox is also doing that, but I think Microsoft will take the hit more than Sony will. I mean, look at the last time Microsoft won the console war. Just to throw it back to that for a second, Freeman. Like when they quote unquote won the 360 PS3 era, they were the ones who ate more of a bullet on, or ate more of the cost on the consoles in exchange for making them cheaper and getting them out there more. And I think if either of them launches a $600 console, I don't understand how that sells super well in this day and age. But apparently,
so here's the thing: thanks to inflation, it's not that much more different than announcing a $600 or $400 console back in 2006.
You're not wrong, and apparently there was like a fake announcement that somehow went out that Sony's pre-orders were going to go live, and people lined up in stores for it. This fake announcement that Sony.
Oh yeah, then Sony had to clarify that they will
announce for sure. They obviously want people to buy their product. They'll tell you when you can buy their product.
They were going to announce in advance when you're able to pre-order it. So that way, like pre-order day, no one is surprised by it.
Yes. But anyway.
Okay, so here's the lowdown on the Xbox subscription stuff, right?
Alrighty.
You can, if you just get the normal Game Pass for Xbox, you still need the Xbox Gold subscription to play things online. So you would need both subscriptions. But if you have Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, it also counts as an Xbox Live Gold subscription as well.
Which is fantastic, because that's what I pay for, $15 a month.
If you have Game Pass Ultimate, it is Gold plus Game Pass.
Wow. And Ultimate is also the Game Pass that works on your Xbox and your PC. There is Game Pass for Xbox, there's Game Pass for PC, and then there's Ultimate Game Pass, which is what I pay for. So it could work on Xbox, on PC, and counts as Gold.
Man, that sounds like value.
Yeah. Yes. It is value.
It is why I am happy to support such a cause and pay for my subscription.
Until everybody else gets the same idea, and then we have the game streaming wars of 2025, like we have now with Netflix.
Which, if it goes like the multiplayer race in the 360 PS3 era, that might be how Microsoft wins for a while.
Yeah, they might win. They might win on the back of Game Pass alone.
Yeah.
But
Sony's got to back off of this closed garden shit or they're going to lose.
Speaking of Sony and where Sony comes from.
That's right. There was no good transition, which means it's time for the Weeb shit. All right. Sorry. You mentioned the soundboard. I'm like, I can't let them one up me now.
That's fine.
So I cut out some stuff. We'll go fast. This is all just like date announcements and whatnot. So last time I wrote down these notes, I said the Haikyuu manga was about to end, but as of last week, it's now officially over. That's what they did clarify, that Haikyuu to the Top, which was supposed to start airing 2 weeks ago, will officially air in October. So we are getting the second half of the season. There's no word on whether they're going to continue on from this season. We're in this weird spot where Shonen Jump used to, like, if a manga ended, that was it. You don't get any more support. But then after Food Wars ended, and then a year later, they're like, yes, we'll do another season animating arguably the worst arc. Just
I was going to say, and Food Wars is definitely ending on a lower note than Haikyuu ever did.
Yeah, if Food Wars can do that, and I feel like Haikyuu, which has been consistently in the top 10 for like the last 8 years, I feel like maybe it warrants investing in the franchise. So hopefully we see a continuation.
The anime has also been very high on Crunchyroll. Like every time I open up the full list of anime, it's like Haikyuu is high up there.
It's one of the big ones. So it has, how do I put this? It has an insane amount of appeal with female viewers. That's the way I'll put this. Which is good, because a lot of shonen anime doesn't always have that kind of appeal. But hoping for more.
Like
moving on.
It's the next Yuri on Ice.
Look, Yuri on Ice had a different kind of female appeal. But moving on. Funimation had a panel. I don't know if it was at like Anime Expo Online, or everyone's doing their own like weird fake online expos, which is just a bunch of like canned panels where they already had the questions.
Did you guys know that Comic-Con Online happened this weekend, and apparently they got almost no viewers online? Like,
I heard it flop.
They had like less than 15,000 viewers online at any given time.
I just heard about it, so yeah, I'm not surprised.
My comic book shop told me about it.
I mean, it doesn't help that apparently Marvel backed out and DC backed out to hold their own thing, so...
Everyone's doing their own now.
Yeah, they all learned from Nintendo.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense, though, because, like, with the whole, COVID thing happening...
Yeah, why share the news cycle?
Yeah, I mean,
Why would-
you might as well just do your own live stream. Why would you? You're actually just complicating things by investing yourself in
Hence-
somebody else's.
I mean, look, we just talked about like a month ago in the last podcast. We talked about a bunch of Sony stuff, and we talked about the Cyberpunk stuff because they did their own things. And then now we've talked about Halo we talked about Xbox for like a half hour because they were, along with Ubisoft and Nintendo, they were the 3 big announcements. There wasn't like 10,000 tiny announcements scattered in there from an E3 or something.
They're not fighting for airtime because
Yeah.
the internet exists.
Just announce your thing in advance, and if
where the rest of us live.
yeah, just give yourself a week in either direction when no one else is doing something, and bam, you have the airwaves for 2 weeks.
Yep, there you go. Marketing 101.
But anyway, Freeman, keep going. Sorry,
Oh,
Funimation's stream
Shuffle
thing.
the order on some of this. I want to keep the date announcements together because
Oh.
they're nice and short and concise. Anyway, moving on. Funimation had a panel at their joint Sony press conference thing. I don't know. Point is, one of my favorite old. It's like an early 2000s horror anime, Higurashi. They are doing a remake. It looks a lot cleaner now. Like the biggest problem with the show is bad animation. They did confirm that production has continued. It's still on schedule for October release, which is great because this will be a cool Halloween anime to start watching.
Yeah, I feel like if it's a horror thing, you either do it you rush to get it this year, or you push it till next year.
I mean, the thing is, it's not like, how do I put it? It doesn't have like a Halloween August feel because it's a summer anime. Like cicadas are playing in the background of every fucking scene.
Yeah, but if
in
it's
your
horror, I mean, you gotta just go
Yes,
for the.
You gotta do it during the spooky season.
Spoopy spoop.
Speaking of spooky shit, Crunchyroll is actually getting the Goblin Slayer movie, and it's out today.
Wow.
Oh.
Unfortunately, there's been so little information on what's actually in this movie. I can't tell you if this is the canon continuation or if it's just a standalone side story that isn't like the actual sequel, but is technically supposed to be viewed after this. I don't know. Point is, I'm probably going to watch this.
Nice.
And relatively soon. But still on the Crunchyroll news wagon. So Crunchyroll is kind of on a roll now. Ever since they broke up with Funimation, and Funimation now is sleeping with Aniplex and getting all their exclusives, Crunchyroll needed to do something crazy. So they're like, fuck it, we'll buy Webtoons, we'll skip working with Shonen Jump, and we'll just be our own anime producer for these comics. And now they're going a step further. They're like, hey, Adult Swim, you've co-sponsored anime before. Do you want to co-sponsor more anime? So now Crunchyroll and Adult Swim are working together on this show called Fina Pirate Princess. And they put out a trailer for it. And it reminds me a lot of, what's the show, Seven Samurai? Like they're clearly going for that you used to watch Toonami aesthetic without explicitly being like 90s anime.
So I would say mid 2000s, early to mid 2000s anime.
Yes. What was that one anime? It was like something Morbido. Like that show is the aesthetic.
I mean, I could literally
to.
just list off literally every anime I've watched on fucking Toonami: Ghost in the Shell, fucking Paranoia Agent, Samurai Champloo.
You're listing all these very unique shows, by the way.
I am, but that's all the shit that was on there, and they all have I don't know.
Point is, I'm a little concerned. We'll get to this in a bit when we talk about what we watch, but like when Crunchyroll sponsors an anime, like a lot of them feel, how do I put this, unauthentic. Like they're trying to be an anime as opposed to just being an anime. So I'm concerned about how this is going to come out. Also because I have no idea which studio is doing it. But we'll see. Damn, I put in the wrong spell list. Fuck it. We're just going to talk about how the Waifu Wars ended because this is the most depressing way it could have possibly ended. So we go into the quarterfinals, and me and Luigi are like neck and neck at each other because Megumin and Hollow are up against each other. And historically, Megumin has never won against Hollow. So she destroys Megumin. Luigi's happy. She moves to the semifinals where she's up against Mai Sakurajima from Bunny Girl Senpai. And the other bracket is all characters from Kaguya-sama Love is War. Absolutely ridiculous. There's 3 of the 4 are from shows that aired in the last 2 years. And of course, Hollow gets decimated by Mai Sakurajima, who proceeds to get decimated by Kaguya from Kaguya-sama.
All right, Freeman, you might want to cut the music. It's a little hard to hear you at this point.
All right, I had 3 more words, which proves that Weeblets are ruining everything. Anyway, that was the end of the Waifu
That's
Wars.
it.
This is a
Weeble-
depressing year.
They're terrible people.
So they had what was it? it was like best girl of last year or whatever year that season 1 of Kaguya and season 1 of Bunny Girl aired. They dominated the brackets for best girl of the year, and everyone's just like, fuck it. Why is the best girl like another year later the same fucking semifinals with the exact same results? And it's 100% just everything being so recent. Because let's be real here, Kaguya is not a better character. For someone whose name is in the show, like she had less screen time than every other character this season. As opposed to Bunny Girl Senpai, who's does have the most screen time, and her name is also in the title too. Anyway, I'm just salty. This contest is bullshit. I needed Hollow to win so she'd stop killing Megumin every year. All right.
Honestly, this is a bunch of bullshit.
Yes, it is. I don't know why.
Bunch of stupid, sweaty
I don't
fucking
anymore.
nerds online talking about 2D waifus that don't even seem that quality.
Tyler,
No.
2D girls are best girls.
Of course,
know-
they don't hurt your feelings like real girls.
No, they don't hurt your feelings.
Oh boy.
Doesn't think 2D girls are best girls.
Tell me I'm wrong.
I
I'm
don't know.
waiting. Crickets.
Some of them are pretty fucking savage, dude.
But you always expect it. You always expect the tsundere to be a tsundere.
Yeah, fair.
Until
They
she's
do have the
not.
tag attached.
Dude. Fucking
Ooh, boy.
Anyway, so you know who else doesn't like the 2D waifus? Amazon.
Amazon doesn't like 2D waifus.
They decided that they don't want light novels on Kindle anymore. Why? We don't really know. They blacklisted like 12 of them, so we got No Game No Life is on this list. I should not have closed the list. Hold on.
I was gonna say, because I was thinking about buying the next Overlord one because I just reread one today.
Overlord does not. How do I put it? Doesn't fall into the category of book they were trying to get rid of.
Well, Freeman, all you said was
They-
one name and said they're getting rid of
And I'm-
some light novels.
Trying to pull up the list. So they got rid of. Come on, where did the list go? So How Not to Summon a Demon Lord's on there. Aramanga Sensei's on there. The Greatest Magic Masters Retirement Plan, which I have no clue what the fuck that is. And point is, it's a lot of ones that have risque art on the covers. And that was enough for Amazon to say no, not on Kindle. But we'll still sell physical copies. So everyone's very confused. The company that publishes all these is very blindsided. They still haven't made a press statement on this a month later. Now that just they were exclusively on the Kindle store and now they're exclusively not on the Kindle store. So we'll see what happens. This is a very weird scenario where Amazon is like censoring books and also not explicitly saying why they're censoring the books.
Sick.
Whatever. Weebs are oppressed. All right. That's it for the Weeb shit.
Why? Stop it. Oh, wait, Freeman, one more Weeb
They're
thing.
denying our literature.
One more Weeb thing on our anime. Crunchyroll says that they have surpassed 3 million paid subscribers.
Really?
I don't know if that counts. What's the other thing called? The Verve, that's it. Couldn't think of it.
Oh yeah, they probably don't lump them together. But that said, it's weird because they tried to get everyone off of Crunchyroll a while ago onto Verve, and now they realize no one's moving.
Yes, I made that decision as well. Yeah, 3 million. It actually says in bold letters, 3 million paid users around the world and 70 million registered. Obviously, that's not super great conversion rate. But...
Back the fuck up. All right, so we have one more spicy news story from Crunchyroll News.
Oh boy.
So there's some backstory on this. Everyone here is familiar with the Ahegao hoodie, right?
Yeah, unfortunately,
No,
The
of
shirt
course
made
not.
entirely of pictures of anime girls
you don't.
making very ecstatic faces. So, the website's name is Fakku, Fakku, and they specialize in hosting English translated sexual literature from
Special
Japan.
literature. Oh, I was about to, okay, yeah.
But they're
It's
legitimate. They're like one of the
it's
first English
hentai.
language publishers. Of this. The point is, a Chinese company is attempting to trademark the Ahegao shirt pattern, and Fakku is fighting back because apparently they own several of the images on the shirt, and now there's a large lawsuit happening, which I think is phenomenal.
Amazing.
What?
Greatest timeline. All right, that's really it for the Weeb shit.
All right. Well, Time for us to move into the massive amounts of watched and play stuff, and these we are going to limit because, man, if we went on the whole time, these could last a while. Who's been playing video games, Tyler and Aiden?
Nah, I haven't been playing video games.
I have
don't
also
know what
been
you're talking
playing
about.
video games.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Tyler, what video games are you playing? Like Ghost of Tsushima, Ghost of Tsushima? Are you Ghost
And
of
LA
Tsushima,
Noir.
Ghost
Oh,
of
you're not
Tsushima?
playing Ghost.
And LA Noir. I've been playing both. I have been playing video games. That's it. They're both interesting. I like Ghost of Tsushima more though.
Is that how you
Oh,
really feel
no.
about this game?
About Ghost of Tsushima?
Yeah,
I think it's fantastic.
Damn.
What?
because you sound
Nice.
really
Yeah,
unenthusiastic
you
about the
sound
game.
very... You're allowed to sound enthusiastic here, Tyler.
Yo, Ghost of Tsushima is a 9 out of 10 in my book. Exactly.
9 out of 10 from Tyler.
I
Quality.
really like it. I don't know, like it's pretty cool. I've been very immersed. Especially since I've been trying to work on my backlog, and originally I didn't have any real interest in Ghost of Tsushima, and then like Aiden started playing it, and then my other coworker started playing it, and I saw stuff online saying a bunch of people were liking it, so I'm like, fine. And then I watched Aiden play it, and there were all these fucking samurai like tropes that I was like, man, this is fucking awesome. Like you go into the little dueling circle and he does the thing where he fucking clicks the fucking katana out of his sheath with his thumb. Dope. I like it a lot.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean I was playing that in LA Noir and I'm not really digging LA Noir, but Aiden is
Really?
telling me that I'll like this next section. Yeah, go figure. Like me
You
who really likes police stuff isn't really into this.
Yeah.
Is it the
L-
story? Is it the gameplay? Like, what's putting you off from it?
It's mostly the gameplay. Everything just feels super clunky, I guess.
Oof.
But like, I don't know, it's a Rockstar game, so like anything from that generation feels super clunky. Like I was never really a big fan of GTA 4.
That is
Yeah,
true. This is why I've never been a Rockstar fan.
Yeah. And
and
like
it,
I
I
just
believe the LA Noir actually released before GTA 4, so that's probably not like.
no, it
Like,
released way after.
are you sure? Oh
Yes,
my
it
god!
came out in 2011.
What world am I living in? Never
I was
mind.
like, GTA
Disregard
4
me.
came out when I was like a sophomore in high school.
Yeah,
Um,
LA Noir came out like 5 years after GTA 4.
yeah. So I don't know, like the concept is really cool. Like the concept of the game is keeping me there because I like cop shit and I like being like detective or whatever. But as far as like the game is concerned, I'm not really digging it, but I feel invested enough to finish it. So that's what I'm doing.
You have 2 chapters of the game left.
Which
So
I
I mean,
want
you
to
might as well
believe
finish it.
you, but the game progress says otherwise.
Uh, it, man, don't look at the game progress. You're gonna. It's like you have Vice, and then there's a thing after
There's
Vice that happens.
arson.
Yes,
There's
you have
another
Vice and
box that
Arson.
says
That's it.
arson. And I'm
That's it.
like, what kind of bullshit is this? Police doesn't investigate. Well, I guess they do investigate arson, but it's mostly
Oh,
the fire
are,
department.
are you aware of the police practices from 1947 LA, Tyler?
No, I'm not. I'm not. But
I'm
still.
just being a dick. I'm sorry.
Nah, you're right though. You're right. Right. But that's what I'm playing right now. I'm not really playing anything else.
Aiden, what are you playing?
I have been playing Halo. Been playing Space Beast Terror Fright,
All good things.
as I'm sure you good people will know. I've been playing Daemon X Machina on PC, which is Armored Core 4 next generation. I'm playing Stalker Call of Pripyat on the Misery mod, as I said before, which is fan-fucking-tastic. It's an old game, but you'll get over it. Really good, really, 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 really good game. Thoroughly enjoy it. Like, if you like things like DayZ, it's better DayZ without online bullshit shenanigans. I have played and beaten Carrion. Carrion is not a very long game.
I'll probably blast through it.
It looks pretty cool, though.
Perfect
Here's
Game
another
Pass
game that Tim needs to play.
Oh.
Yeah, you need to play Katana Zero.
Oh yeah, I know.
Carrion is about as long as Katana Zero is. It's like 4 hours long.
Okay.
But it is a very well crafted experience. I will definitely say that. Kudos to hold on. I gotta see who the developer of this is, because I want them to be known. Developed by Phobia Game Studio.
Oh.
Published by Devolver. Devolver's fucking killing it as far as publishing goes. Super fun game. Not very long. If you have Game Pass, take advantage of it. Like, you have absolutely no excuse not to play this game. If you've got 4 hours on a weekend between Saturday and Sunday, you'll beat this game and you'll have a good time with it. It's a very fun, just visceral, aggressive game. Like, if you've ever wanted to be the alien from Alien, or like, just imagine like a physical manifestation of the T virus ripping its way through an Umbrella facility.
Oh yeah.
That's how I can describe this game. It like, visually, and like, it's visually like revolting, honestly, which I don't say that in a bad way. Like, Tim will be able to attest to it when he plays it. But like, when you're moving around, you throw out these tentacles you attach to walls, and you just pull yourself to them like this. It's gross. There's the giant blob of death and destruction. It's so good. Love it. Carrion, highly recommended.
Nice.
Highly recommended. I started playing Bayonetta again, because I got Bayonetta 2 on the Switch, so I'm playing through Bayonetta 1 on PC, because why the fuck not?
Oh man, that brings me back.
Hell yeah, man.
Games run like ass on PS3.
It was good stuff. Bayonetta 3, I believe, is a thing that's happening.
They've talked about it, but I'll believe it when I see it.
Fair enough. And other than that, I've been playing Ghost of Tsushima, which for me is a 9.5 out of 10 right now.
Nice.
It is one of the best games that I have played in the last couple years. Visually striking, and it just invokes that samurai spirit within all of us,
Yeah.
Like, just
Nanda kore wa
Omae wa mo shinderu.
Nani?
Because that's what you are. You are a death-dealing badass fucking samurai, and it is such a good game. I can't understate how good this game is. Like, if you've ever wanted a good Assassin's Creed in Japan, this is a good Assassin's Creed in Japan. And honestly, I feel like comparing it to Assassin's Creed is actually a disservice to Ghost of Tsushima, because it's better than that. It is, like, the amount of tools that you have at your disposal, the stances, like, there are things that can be improved, sure, but every game can always be improved. But, like, everything in this game fits together so well. Like, this if this isn't a top contender, and I mean top contender, like this is either first or second place for Game of the Year. Depending on how Cyberpunk goes, will determine whether it's first or second place.
Damn.
And that's how I feel about it. Like the world is just beautifully crafted. Everywhere you look is a screenshot. It like, and you know, it's not. The good thing about it is that while there are a lot of things in the world to do, it does the Legend of Zelda thing where it's like there's empty space. And there's nothing wrong with having empty space because sometimes you just want to enjoy the trip, you know? Like you're going to an objective or whatever, and the objective is important, but the journey is also important. You know, just take a look around, take a load off. One of the side activities in this game is to fucking sit down and compose a haiku. Just write poetry. Like you
That's
don't
cool.
always have to kill stuff, man. Like relax, think about things. Like you don't have to be constantly in a state of rush, go, kill, whatever.
Breathing
I love
space
this.
is good.
Breathing, it gives you time to breathe.
Nah,
We
no
talked about
breathe,
God
only
of War
kill.
earlier.
Must kill. Gotta rid the Mongol horde from my American soil.
You do need to rid the Mongol hordes from your soil, which I mean, like, man. All right, before I fucking take up too much time, because I do. Are we trying to do Halo? Because I mean, I'm trying to do Halo.
Yes, we.
Yeah, if we all
Alright.
shut the fuck
I
up.
mean, I was
I'm
gonna
gonna-
say we gotta hit
I'm gonna
9:30.
Shut the fuck up. I'm shutting the fuck up. We're done. Ghost of Tsushima is a very good game.
There you go.
I have not been playing a ton. Me and Aiden played a little bit of Space Beast. That's going up on the channel later this week or next week. Been playing a little Submarine Titans. That's also coming up. The only thing I've really been playing for fun on the side is honestly League of Legends. I know how lame that is, but I've been playing my boy Jin like crazy. I already hit Mastery 7. It's real. I've been having a pretty good time. It's not perfect. The new event is pretty cool. The Spirit Blossom event is kind of fun. I stopped playing the new mode mostly, but a lot of the skins are gorgeous. And I played my first game of the Champion Senna last night and got an S- on her. So that was pretty good. That was a fun way to start playing a new champion.
Nice.
But other than League, I really haven't been playing a whole ton. Although I was going to say, I just noticed on Steam, I had forgotten, Horizon Zero Dawn comes out August 7th. So because I'm moving that weekend, that's next Friday, I'm moving that weekend, so I can't do it. But honestly, now that I'm going to be working from home and work has been so slow, I'm probably going to start recording Horizon the first week I'm back in New Jersey. Because that's definitely going to be a game I want to Let's Play on PC. That game seems fun, and I'm going to definitely play through it. I've been kind of itching for a new open world thing that I'm going to need to
Seems fun.
sink time into. What?
Can confirm it is a fun game.
Yeah, so I'm excited for that, and I still need to finish Yakuza Kiwami 2, because also, Like a Dragon is coming to PC at some time in the near future. And even though it has an English dub and I'm not going to play it, that's fucking sick. And I've been listening to the intro song because YouTube recommended it, and it's real good. So, yeah, that's where I'm at. Freeman, what are you playing?
Unfortunately, I had some real world stuff I've been dealing with the last couple weeks, so I haven't actually played anything in 2.5 weeks, unfortunately.
But you had
So
to
we're at the
play.
exact same spot in Persona 5
Yeah, I was
Royal that
gonna
we were
say,
last
still
time.
playing
I mentioned
Persona.
that- yeah, it still has to get completed. I'm at the very tail end. I'm about to hit the entirely new content,
Nice.
which will go by in an instant, because once I hit the new content, I'm going to plow through that.
What about watching anime and such, Freeman? We'll circle back the other way.
So it's the start of the new season. I'm loosely caught up on a couple shows. I cut out some of the ones not worth talking about at this point. But obviously, ReZero is back.
Yes, sir.
First episode gave me some feels. Episode 2 was great. Episode 3 had, how do I put this? The most out of place info dump I've ever seen in an anime before. It was phenomenal. In the span of 15 seconds, they had raised an insane number of questions with this beautifully animated sequence. But now I need to rewatch the episode again. But I'm I can't wait for Wednesdays. I want more of it. I don't know if you want to go down the list of what we
Just
have
fly
written down.
through
Tim.
real quick.
All right, real quick. Started God of High School on Saturday. I watched the first 3 episodes. Not bad. I made a joke to you guys yesterday that Crunchyroll is really flexing up. They're a sponsor for the show. So, like, in universe, there's this fighting tournament, and anytime they need a sponsor banner, it's just the Crunchyroll logo and the Webtoons logo repeated all over everything.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie, it's really obnoxious.
It really takes me out of the show because it's just like, stop that. I know you sponsored the show. Knock it off. Like, the last time an anime did this, I think it was Tiger and Bunny, which was this show about if superheroes went pro and then like professional heroes were marked by like who actually performed the best. And they went the NASCAR route where everyone had sponsors on their uniforms, which was how Sunrise raised money for the project by literally selling sponsorship spots for these protagonists. So obviously Pepsi bought like the biggest one. Again, also that show felt super weird to have real world sponsors all over everyone's uniforms. And then I started watching some literal trash. So Rent a Girlfriend came out. For anyone who doesn't understand what this is because they think it's about prostitution, you're right. So in Japan, it's common for like non-physical prostitution. So like you just rent a girlfriend to go out on a date on, and that's it. Like when you leave the restaurant, your date's over. So this guy is super lonely after his girlfriend breaks up with him, and he's like, I can't take this loneliness. I'm gonna rent a girlfriend, and he rents one. And then at the end of the date, he realizes, wait a minute, she was just pretending to like me because I paid her. That bitch. And he leaves her a 1-star rating on this app. And then he's like, I'm going to take her on one more date to like remind her that like she's a piece of shit.
Because he also
So
left the review anonymously.
So yes, but like he was one of 5 reviewers, so she knows it's him. The point is, they go on another date. She still puts on the routine, and then he calls her out, and she's like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" She tells him off for like this 5-minute block. Phenomenal. And then from that point on, it becomes etchy garbage where they fall all over each other in a bed, and they have to like convince someone they're not in a relationship, and then his ex-girlfriend gets involved because even though she broke up with him, she was never over him, even though she broke up with him. So now he's trying to break him up with his rent-a-girlfriend, who's not his girlfriend, but is still sometimes volunteering as his girlfriend because he needs to keep up the appearance of having a girlfriend. Point is, this is trash, but it's phenomenal. So if you need some like mindless bullshit anime nonsense, definitely worth the shot. Hopefully I left a good impression with that description.
Alrighty.
But that's it.
All right. I've been watching ReZero. Obviously, I'm still not as into it as everybody else, but it is good. I'm still watching it every week.
Look, I feel like if you didn't like season 1, like season 2 is not going to change anything.
I haven't watched it yet.
Look,
still.
I didn't end up hating season 1, but I'm not going to lie, just the pacing of the show has never sat with me as much as everybody else. But I'm still interested enough to keep watching.
You don't really like much, Tim, you know.
I'm going to ignore that.
Says Tyler.
I plan on starting God of High School and Misfit of Demon Academy. That also seems trashy.
I forgot about that one.
Based on Mother's Basement's video, I want to watch it.
Season.
But also Fire Force started back up, and boy oh boy, that show still has a lot of questions, but there is so much fighting that looks so gorgeous with this animation. I actually just on Sunday was talking to Aiden on Discord while I was watching and had to pause, rewind 30 seconds, and stream to Aiden, who's never seen the show, or season 2, right? Or no,
I'm like 2 episodes into the show.
That's right. I had to pause, rewind, and stream it through Discord over to Aiden so that he could see this incredible animation sequence. It doesn't really, I mean, you can't really spoil what an animation looks like. It's like saying United States is Smash. That doesn't mean anything unless you see it. They did something I've never seen. They did a 10-second tracking shot of 2 guys flying through the walls of a building like in a superhero movie. And it looks fantastic.
David production flexing on everyone.
It was...
Honestly, as somebody who has not seen the show, I've only seen this level of like animation from like movies.
It was honestly incredible. I was shocked to see that shot. But yeah, season 2 has started off with just all fighting all the time, almost immediately. And it's fucking great. It's just fun. It's fun to watch so much fire animation. And then Food Wars just released a new episode. I haven't watched it yet, but that's probably gonna start being talked about the worst arc ever by next time.
Who cares? Who cares?
But that's all I've watched. Aiden, have you watched anything or no anime?
I honestly haven't watched any anime really. I've really just been watching a bunch of cooking YouTube.
Nice.
Like I made
like
a
which channels?
fantastic binging with Babish,
Oh, he's
Gordon
the best one.
Ramsay.
I've been watching so
There-
much YouTube, but that never comes up here.
Yeah,
It's not worth discussing.
It's the only thing that I've watched, but I made not related to YouTube. Well, that's not true. I made a croque monsieur. How I'm not French. I can't enunciate French. Sorry. I
Man,
apologize.
this isn't an anime.
Binging with Babish did a video about a croque monsieur about from Brooklyn Nine-Nine, I want to say it was. It doesn't really matter where it came from, but I made that for breakfast and fucking delicious. Other than that, I've been watching just like cooking shit. Really, I've just been cooking.
Nice.
Yeah, that's all I've watched.
Like a good way to use YouTube.
Absolutely.
All right, Tyler.
Yourself every day.
What have you watched, Tyler?
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I haven't watched anything except for God of High School today, and like, I don't know how to feel about it.
I know you
I don't
watched
know
a
if I'm gonna
non-anime
continue.
thing.
What did I watch?
You and Val had a movie night.
Oh yeah, we watched. I forgot. Well, I not forgot that we did that, but like, I was thinking like, what is something that'd be cool to talk about on here? But I saw Hamilton and I saw Extraction, and both are pretty good.
Nice.
Yeah, Hamilton was better than I expected, memes aside. Honestly, I went into it thinking that I was gonna fucking hate it because like Val and Leslie were
The
literally
overhype.
memeing about it for fucking like a year and a half, no joke.
Correct.
And I'm like, man, this is might not be a good time, but I was like, it was pretty good.
Nice.
Yeah, and then Extraction was just like a decent turn your brain off and just like,
Have fun.
yeah, just watch or be a drunken mercenary.
I also want to officially say thank you, Tyler, for getting Val to watch the first John Wick movie, which apparently
yeah.
she enjoyed.
Yeah, actually, we had a pretty good discussion about it too.
Nice.
It's a
Maybe
good
next
movie.
movie night will be a continuation. Maybe we'll get her there.
Maybe she said she was a little bit apprehensive about it because I talked to her about it and I was like, the first movie's actually like a pretty good ending, and she's like, because after we finished it, she's like, wait, how are there two more of these? I'm like,
That's
exactly.
fair.
I told her, I was like, but the other movies are pretty good, but like, I don't know. And she's like, well, maybe I might have to watch the other ones, but I'll
Wahoo.
see. Like, that's fair.
Anybody else got anything they watched?
There's definitely something I'm just forgetting.
I'm gonna check Netflix real quick to make sure I'm not forgetting anything that mattered. I don't think so, though. Yeah, I know.
Checking my
it's
last
been
completed
so
anime
long.
to see if there's anything finished.
I will say, just as a side note, just a fun thing that happened. I know I mentioned it last time, but during this month, I had my bachelor party. Tyler was thankfully able to go.
Oh yeah, we watched Airplane. I forgot I watched Airplane.
Yes, we watched Airplane. Tyler had never seen Airplane before.
What'd you think of it?
It was pretty hilarious. I'm upset that we won't ever have movies like that ever again.
Yeah.
That is probably true.
It's a
Well,
travesty.
if you haven't seen the Naked Gun movies, there's a couple that are like that you'd still have to watch.
That's true. I haven't seen those movies.
But yeah, bachelor party was a ton of fun. Had some of my only alcoholic drinks I've ever had in my life. Played a lot of fun games, hung out with a lot of good people. It was a good time. Did cool climbing adventures and got 3 hole-in-ones on a mini golf course, which was like the best shit I've ever done in mini golf. I mean, I was still massively over par for the whole course, but 3 hole-in-ones is pretty good.
It's not bad.
It is pretty good. Still didn't beat Dan, but
But he plays like him and Kevin's friends are like all golf boys. They're like, oh
Yeah,
man, I
I'm
missed par.
acutely
Ugh, I
aware.
suck. Like
I'm acutely aware of how much golf they were
So-
watching the
so-
entire weekend.
just to let the listeners inside a little bit, as the last thing. So the bachelor party was me, Tyler, two of my other friends, two of my other groomsmen. Freeman unfortunately wasn't able to make it. Luigi was there actually as another one, and then Ed, who we've talked about on here, and then my brother brought two of his friends along. Me and my brother are like yin and yang, where he's the big army, played sports in high school guy, and I'm obviously the nerd. So him and his friends would go first on a hole. All of them would get, the whole course was like 2 par. They would all get like twos, or like make fun of each other when they got a 3. And then me, Tyler, Luigi, and Ed step up, and we're just like 4, 5, 5, 5, 5.
Yeah, it was fucking terrible. And I'm like, try me in Halo, bitches. Like, fucking please.
Fight me, not IRL.
You know what? Let's go downstairs to the bowling game. I'll fucking whoop
Yeah,
that ass.
so the house we got actually had 3 arcade games in it. One was a bowling game with like the ball you actually swipe. Then there was a cornhole game, and then there was a small arcade like table game with a like, what was it, like 50 games on it. So that was fucking
yeah,
sick.
it was like
in
a retro pie and like a fucking thing. And
I almost wish if
That's
we
pretty
took a like
cool.
a whole squad trip again, we would go to that house again, Tyler, because that place was honestly fantastic.
that was a good house. Bad memories. But that was a good house. I like that house.
Wait,
No,
Sounds
not
like a good
from the
bachelor party then.
party, not from the bachelor party. My old life.
because we went
Oh.
near where you used to live.
Literally like 5 miles away from where I used to live.
Oh,
Okay,
damn.
well that's different. But yeah,
Yeah,
the
that is
bachelor party
different.
was a blast.
This was different.
Also, my brother threw away one of the best games of Skulls we'd ever seen, Freeman.
Really?
He was one-on-one
Oh
against
my
Ed, and we were like trying to
God,
tell him what he
yo.
should do because they were down to like 1 card a pop, and then Kevin plays his skull. He had a skull and a flower, and he played his skull and said 1 and killed himself. And he's like, "What did
Oh
I do
my
wrong?"
God.
We're like, "No, you were supposed to."
Yo, the thing. No, here's the problem. Ed is just. 'cause
Ed is an
he's
enigma. Oh my god.
Like that's
He's
the
impossible
problem.
to
Like,
read.
I can almost guarantee you that's what threw him off. He wasn't sure what to do because he's like, we're telling him to do things, but he's looking Ed dead in the fucking eye, and he's just like, I don't even know if if this is right because I don't even know if they know that he's bullshitting or not. And I don't even think Ed knew.
Oh, Ed definitely didn't know. I mean, we
No.
told you the other day, like, we played real cornhole, and fucking Ed, the least athletic person I've known on planet Earth in my entire life, outside of infants, he would just wind up and overhand these fucking hacky sack bags and fucking net it into the cornhole. Like,
It's ridiculous way to
nothing.
play cornhole.
Oh my god, it was
Who
so
overhands this?
No one, and Ed would just sink them, or they would fly off like 20 feet in the wrong direction. It's all or nothing with Ed. There's no middle ground.
No.
But anyway, we're gonna end it here because I desperately want to go finish Halo 3 because holy shit, that game is just still so good. So we're gonna go play some Halo 3. But until next time, thank you all so much for listening. This has been the TNT podcast. My name is Timpedia,
I'm Friedman.
Just Tyler.
Monsieur A's.
and we'll catch you guys next time. Thanks for listening.